Right, we're going to be doing the grade 11 workbook 611 HSE textbook story. I'm just going to slide that down so we can get the whole thing on the board. All right, what have they asked you? Well, they've asked you to do the solid geometry of this object over here. You can see that they're asking you to do it in first angle orthographic projection, and you need to transfer those views over to that point B over there. You'll see point B on the diagram. Please draw all of that. I've drawn it out so that I don't waste too much time. Right, it's a hexagon. You should know how to draw a hexagon now. It's given a side length of 30 and a side length of 30 for these two different hexagons. And you must just make sure that you've got all the hidden detail correctly. That hidden detail, why do I have that hidden detail there? Let's get the eagle out the way. Well, first of all, we need to place ourselves in the picture. I'm just going to put an XY axis in over here, about 10 millimeters away from my auxiliary view. Label it an XY, XY over there. And where am I standing in a first angle orthographic projection? I would be standing somewhere over here, and I'd be looking across in that direction. I can see the base of this, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can see that base over there. But these lines on this pyramid, they are going away from me, so I can't see those, therefore they are done in hidden detail. This block at the top over here, obviously there are going to be bits of it that you can see sticking out at the corners over there, but there's bits of hidden detail there as well. Right. Okay, we're knowing that. They tell us that they want a left view and a top view. I'm going to start with the top view. You'll note that I have labeled all of these corners. I'm just going to give you a slightly bigger version of that so that you can get the labeling done. I have labeled the pyramid part as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, going up to 0. I always call my apex of my pyramid 0. And then the hexagonal prism at the top, I've labeled that A, B, C, D. Sorry, A, B, C, D is on that point. E, F, and A are on the same point, okay? And down at the bottom, I've got G, L, K, H, I, and J. You can see over there. A, B, C, D, E, F. G is underneath A, H underneath B, I, J, K, and L over there. Right, if we can get that down, that is nice and easy. Right, there are the numbers on my two views, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to place the XY axis as they have it on their diagram, touching the point 1 on this base over here. So there we go, label that as X and Y. Right, once I've got that in place, I'm going to drop lines coming down. I'm going to do just the prism part first, okay? Reason being is that is the first thing that my little eagle is going to be able to see, all right? So let's go about drawing that first. They haven't asked you to section it or anything like that. Let's just draw that prism in. I'm going to take lines coming down from A, B, C, D, E, and F. You can see the lines coming down over here. And I can now take the measurements and place them down on these lines I've just dropped down. All right. How do I do that? Well, I go to my XY axis over here, and I'm going to take this measurement of A. There is A. Find A over here, come down over here, mark it off over here, and label it straight away as A. Go to B. There's B. Go over there, go down to B. Label it as B. Note the distance from this XY axis. There's C, going from the XY axis straight up to C. Go to C, come down over here, mark it off, and label it as C. D. It's this distance over here. D, come down, mark it off as D. E, find E, come down, mark it off as E. And finally, F. F, come down and mark it off as F over here. F. Right, you'll see F and A, they are on the same line. B and E, they are on the same line. C and D on the same line. Right, my eagle over here can definitely see that surface, so I'm going to draw that in straight away, and that will help us when we're getting along and trying to figure out what needs to be in hidden detail and what doesn't. Right, there it is. That's that. Right. My next thing is to drop some lines down from these points at the bottom. So from I and J, from K and H, and from G and L. Okay. Right, let's have a look and see how that all looks. I have a feeling my movement of the points hasn't been all that accurate because that line and the C and D normally line up, but let's just carry on with what I've got here, and you'll hopefully be able to see the movement of the points. That's the most important thing in this thing. All right, in fact, I'm just going to take some measurements. Okay, B and H. It says B and H is a point view. If it is a point view, it means that the line on this drawing is going to be parallel to the XY axis. They're the same distance from the XY axis. So from B going to H, there's B coming across to where H is. I can draw that in. E and K. E going to K, there's E going to K, there's E going to K. That is also going to be parallel. Why? Because it's a point view, right? So B to H, let's label it. There's H. E to K, there's K. D to J, right? There's D going to J over here. C going across to I over there. And you can see how I can link that up very quickly. There we go. We're seeing the top of our prism nicely. And those sides, I can definitely see that. Right, this stuff down at the bottom though, A to G and F to L, those would be done in hidden detail. Where is my L? Okay, there it is. F to L, hidden detail going to this point, L over here. A going to G, that would be hidden detail. I can't see it. My eagle can definitely not see those two lines at the bottom. Therefore, hidden detail. Right, I know that I've got a line going from G to L, and that would be hidden detail. Right, I have a line going from G to H over here, and I've got a line going from L to K over there. Right, that is my prism done. Now I need to do the pyramid part. The pyramid part, always what I say is make sure that you start with the apex. I'm going to take this across. Let me just take that across very accurately so that we get the right point. There is my apex. That is the distance from the XY axis to the apex. XY axis to the apex over there. I come across here. You can see the line dropping straight down from the apex over there onto the XY axis, and mark that off and mark that as 0. Right. Okay, let's try and find number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Let's just drop those lines down over here. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Right. Let's find those marks. Number 1. Note where I'm taking the measurements from off the auxiliary view over here. There's number 1. Go across to number 1 and mark off number 1. Number 1 and number 4, you can see that they are the same distance away from the xy axis. So I can straight away take a little construction line going across there, and I will be able to mark off, there's was number 1, and that will be number 4 over there. Right, let's go and find number 3. Number 3 is over here, and 3 and 2 are the same distance from the xy axis. So I come along here to 2, I mark off 2 over there, and I can take a line parallel to the xy axis and find out where 3 is. So there's 2 and there's 3. Go up here, let's find out where 5 is. There's 5. It is parallel to the xy axis with 6. So I can come along here, find 5, take it down to the xy axis, mark that off. Let's mark that off as 5 over there. Take a construction line across over here to where 6 is. All right, once I've done that, I'm going to see from my little eagle eye what line is the very first line that I can see. You can see that I'm picking line 0, 4 over here. So that's the line that I'm going to draw in first. Now watch out, because there's a little bit of it that my eagle can't pick because there's this prism in the way. So there's going to be a little bit of hidden detail just over there, and then it's going to be a solid line. Hidden detail from the apex, and then a solid line going to where 4 is. Right, once that's in place, I know that I'm going to have a little bit of hidden detail going from there, and then it's going to be a solid line going down to 2. Why? Because that's an outside edge. Come over here, same story, going down to 6, hidden detail, and then a solid line going down to 6. That is an edge. Can I see 5? Definitely, it's going to be in the picture. It's one of the top lines over here, so hidden detail and solid. 3 is just on the other side, but it is hidden detail and solid. Right, I think from this you'll be able to see that I've got edges over here, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 5, 6, and that's more or less everything, except for the fact that I have a bit of hidden detail going from 1 over there to 6, a little bit of hidden detail in there, and from 1 to 2, I've got hidden detail in over there. Reason being is that if you look at my little eagle here, those lines are right on the bottom, and it's underneath everything that's happening. I'd also have hidden detail going from 1 all the way to 0, but most of that is covered over by this line 4, 0 anyway. Right, that is your top view all completed. The next drawing is to do the left view. Right, left view, I'm going to draw an XY axis again. Label it X and Y, and take some lines coming across. Let's take these lines across. I'm going to start out with the top of my prism, and you'll see why I want to do that first. If you look at it, I'm wanting to do a left view of it. There I am, I'm looking from the left. The very first thing that I'm going to see is the top of the prism. Let's transfer that first, and then you'll see how that helps you to find your hidden detail. Okay, let's find all of those measurements. A, right, there's A, take that across, put it over here, mark it off as A. Let's go to B. B, take it across, mark it off as B. C and A are parallel to each other, so I can take a line straight up from A to there and mark that as C. If you look at that, A and C, they were parallel to the XY axis. They're going to be parallel in that view. Right, D. Let's go and find D. D. Go to D, take it across, mark it off. mark it as D. F is parallel to D, so I can take that down over there, and I can mark that point over there as F. And the last point we need to find on this is E. Take off E. There is E. Take it across, mark it off as E over there. You can see where I'm taking that from, and E. I've just told you I can definitely see that surface, so I'm going to draw it in straight away, right at the beginning, and I can get my marks. Let's get the right pencil there. There we go. There we go. Draw that in. That, and that. Right, once I've got that in place, I'm going to take the lines going across from the base of this prism, from G and L, from H and K, and from I and J. Right, let's just have a look. A and G, can I see it? Definitely, I'm going to be able to see that line. You can see I can touch it over there. So A going to G, I can draw a line. F going to L, I can draw a line. E going to K, I can draw a line. B going to H, I can draw a line. Okay, so there's K. A went down to G. F went down to L. E went down to K. B went down to H. Okay, and straight away I think you can see that you are going to be able to see those lines going over there. Over there. They're edges, so you can definitely see them. Right, I've got some hidden detail at the back here. I've got C going down to I. Now I can't see that because it is behind the surface over here. So that's going to be hidden detail over there. Hidden detail going in there. D going down to J. Hidden detail going in there. I've got it. I and J over there. Is that correct? Yep, that's correct. And then I have hidden detail going across from I to J. I've got hidden detail that's going to go from J to K. And I'm going to have hidden detail going from H to I. Over there. Right, that's your prism done. I now need to draw the pyramid part. Okay, the pyramid, the top part, is obviously not going to be able to be seen, but I'll be able to see some of that base over there without any issues. Let's take some lines across from the base over here. There. Just some construction lines coming out from all of these points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and once I've got those in place, I need to take those measurements from here. There's number 1. Number 1, let's go and find number 1. There it is, take it across here. What was in line with number 1 was number 4. So I can take a little construction line going up over here, mark that as number 1, and we need to find number 4. There's 4. 4 is over there. Okay. Right, once I've got that in place, let's try and find number 2 and 3. There's number 2 and 3. They're parallel to the XY axis over here. Come over here to 2, take it across. There's, place that down, mark that off as 2. I can take a line going up over here to where 3 is. There's 3. Let's go and find the measurement up to 5 and 6. You can see those two are parallel to the XY axis over here. It's going to continue being parallel to the XY axis. There's 5. Take it across to XY axis. Mark off that distance. and I have 5 over here coming down to 6 over here. Right, once I've got those points, the very most important part of this pyramid is the apex. Find the distance from the xy axis to the apex, there it is, and take that across to the xy axis and mark that off as point 0. Okay. My little man, what's the first line that he's going to be able to see? It'll be this 1, 0. So I'm going to start out by drawing that as a dark line. If you draw in that first line, it is going to be a dark line up until that point, and then it's going to be hidden detail. Why? Because it's behind the prism over here. Okay. Number 2, definitely going to be able to see that going up to 0, there it is, and that little bit of hidden detail going up there. Number 3, it's an edge going up to the top there. Number 6, there it is. Number 5, solid there, and I can draw in that as an edge. I can draw in that as an edge over there, that as an edge over there, that as an edge over there, and there we go. That is the thing done, except for the small little bit of hidden detail going from 3 across to 4. And from 4 going across to 5. And, well, you can actually see it's already hidden detail there, but there would be hidden detail going from 4 going up to 0. It's a very small little piece of hidden detail that you would be drawing in this drawing because this thing is so flat, you could say. All right, there's my little man looking across. What can he see? Always remember, draw the surfaces that you can see first, and then the rest of the hidden detail sort of starts to make some sense as you go through this thing. That is the completed drawing. I hope that helped you to draw it.